Tony live inside Kingford Park, Ballina. This is round 17 of NRRRL action for 2019. The grand final rematch of 2018 between the Ballina Seagulls and the Tweed Coast Raiders. The NRRRL is proudly brought to you by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. Dwayne Neville once again with Michael Shaw for today's grand final rematch for 2018 between the minor premiers and major premiers of the Tweed Coast Raiders. Getting it done here last year at this very ground in September. They are taking on, which is looking like to be the incumbent 2019 minor premiers, the Ballina Seagulls. As we see the officials come out onto the field. So this could prove to be a pivotal game as far as we head into the final straight of the final series into 2019. Ballina Seagulls basically have the minor premiership done and won. They have a 388 points differential, 28 points with Moolumbar on 24. I could doubt we'll see a 210 point differential between the two teams be swapped around. So let's pay a bit more focus on the other clubs that are vying for the final spots. As in Moolumbar, they're playing Byron Bay this afternoon. We do have a couple of sources at Red Devil Park that will patch through scores here, and we will get them to you. We must make note that whilst we're getting them patched through, they are reliable sources. We do not take it as gospel, so it's just a guide to let you know what's going to happen as we have a bit of a live running on the final. So with the Tweed Coast, basically they have to win today. They're in 5th spot on 20. They're going to want to do the best to not be in the history books as winning the grand final one year and going out, not even playing the finals that same year. To go through all for the next 80 minutes, I'm joined here by Michael Shaw. So, Shorey, there's still a few more doors to be opened as far as the finals go. We've got Byron versus Moolumbar today. We also have Mullumbimby versus Coogin up there as well. So there's going to be a lot of answers and probably even more questions by the time today's over.
Yeah, there certainly will be. Dwayne Neville, thank you very much. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Ballina. Looking forward to a great game of rugby league. As you said, it is a replay of the 2018 grand final in which Ballina got up. Tweed, going into this game, don't have the same form that Ballina have, losing to Byron Bay last week, but they will be looking for redemption and to put a good score on today. Their reserve grade team won here 44 points to 8 over Ballina, so that's going to inspire some confidence going into the first grade game here today. As you said, Byron Bay will be looking for a win against a top-ranked Moolumbar squad down there in the Devils Park today. But a beautiful day for rugby league here in Ballina.
And we must make mention, so if it all sounds a bit confusing along the way, I do apologise. There's a lot of what ifs and what happens and what not. So basically, as the teams come out, let's focus on today. Let's give you the tale tape between the two teams as the Tweed Coast Raiders come out onto the paddock. For the Ballina Seagulls, Nicholas Ritter comes back into the squad after missing out on last week's game against Mullumbimby. Their following lineup is in fullback Oliver Regan. He's patched in there with Zach Beecher, Ray Buchanan, Liam Anderson in the centres, and Reece Richards in the other wing position. Now, of course, they're captained by Jamie Lyon in the halves with Jess Perry. In the engine room for the Ballina Seagulls, we have Andrew Barsack locking the scrum with Michael Dwayne and Nicholas Ritter, as I made mention. In the second row, we have Anthony Coleman, Jack Durheim, and locking the scrum is Hayden Hanson. On the bench is Philip Crosby, Michael Coleman, Andrew Barsack, and Matt Crowhurst. Billy Dwayne and Chad North are omissions from that win against the Giants last week. Shorey, how are the Tweed Coast Raiders looking from last week? There's a few changes, late changes.
There certainly are. I'll read out the name list here. In at fullback, Guy Lanson. In number 2, Darryl Brooks. Number 3 on the wing, Dom Murray. In number 4, Brandon Matthews. Number 5, Harrison Bell. In at 5'8", we have Ollie Singh. And at halfback, Harley Peachy. The front row at number 8 is Connor Hickey. In at hooker, Dan Willoughby. Number 10 is Dan Mass. And filling out the second row is Keelani Hensby and Scott McLean. And locking the scrum is Jamie Donaldson. Coming off the bench, we have Ethan Broven, Luke Toon, Lachlan Dawson and Luke Campbell. And just speaking with the Raiders coaching staff earlier on, they've lost Jack O'Brien to an ankle injury, and they actually have 3 players out due to ankle injuries, which is just they say nothing to do with the field, but just a freaky coincidence.
And sure, you make mention Jack O'Brien. Of course, he was the first try scorer in that game I can recall last year. And of course, as we have the two teams from last year's grand finals, same as the referee, we have Josh Gollan out there in the centre. As you can see there, Ballina getting ready to run right to left. They can only be caught, they can only be levelled on points if they don't get the job done and lose next week, and Moolumbar win the next 2 games. But this will certainly put the minor premiership to bed without a shadow of a doubt as we get underway here. That was taken up there by Oliver Singh, and a big hard hit taken up there by Jamie Donaldson to kick things off there, Shorey.
Yeah, Ballina are going to be looking for the steady hands of Jamie Lyon to guide them around the park today.
Okay, so that was taken up there. That's Dan Ross, one of the late changes in this front line, and that's going to be early conceded there. It's certainly not the replica start that the Tweed Coast Raiders had last year. In the grand final last year, they scored in the first 2 minutes. So Ballina will be looking to make them pay early on this part of the game. So Shorey, as I was just about to make mention before the Tweed Coast Raiders came out onto the field, Byron Bay can actually still get into the finals and still go down against Moolumbar and today's opposition, Ballina. But they got to hope that the Ballina can get the job done against the Tweed Coast Raiders today.
Well, they're in a strong position here with an early mistake from Tweed Coast Raiders. Just watching the game last week, I'd like to see the Raiders forward step up a bit here today, and they're going to have the tough job on their hands facing the Ballina forward pack.
So this will be Michael Dwayne now to play it 10 metres out from the Raiders line. They were looking for an early start. This is Perry, and he's going to be crunched down there about 2 metres away, 5th and last. Raiders are still holding well in defence. Just what was the ticket to get them done last year? That's Jamie Lyon. Cross the field. And well picked up there by Darryl Brooks. And they'll have a 20-metre restart. So Shorey, as I was and so there's a little bit of afters, early on in the piece here, Shorey. Bit of back play, I dare say.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened there, but it may have been a late hit after the kick. Jamie Lyon seemed to be in the thick of it there, and his Ballina play supporting him.
So just to give you a bit of a live ladder, so Ballina are currently on 28, Moolumbar 24, Casino effectively are now on 24. We had a close win against Evans Head, 28-24 yesterday. So they're level on points, but however, their effective, well and tall intensive purposes are on 26 because they'll have a bye next week. So as we can see that back-to-back errors there from the Tweed Coast Raiders. So a scrum feed coming now 40 metres out for the Seagulls there, Shorey.
Yeah, it was just a sloppy play the ball there by Kalani Hansby. Innocuous mistake, but it gives Ballina the ball back in a dangerous position in Tweed Coast Raiders half.
So as Ballina, they've coming in here at 32-18 winners last week, 6 tries to 4 against Mullumbimby Giants, whilst Tweed Coast, they had a home defeat to Byron Bay 31-20 last week after basically having their noses in front for a good portion of the first half. So as I was making mention, Casino effectively 26. And just an early update there, Byron are down 6-0 against Moolumbar early in the piece. So Moolumbar, whilst Casino effectively in second with the bye next week, it all comes down, they both got Mullumbimby's opposition as we get back into action. There's numbers on the left. And he's going to be brought down there 10 metres out. This will be now played by Zach Beecher. Should get in the hands. That's Perry. Taken up here. That's Andrew Brasek. And he's just held there just in front of the sticks. This will be Michael Dwayne to play it. They'll get it through their hands. That's Lyon. And not gaining much field position there, the Seagulls, but they've got a big left-hand side player there, Shorey.
Yeah, really slick back line play there by Ballina.
And the Seagulls are over in the first few minutes. Big try up the centre, and that's going to potentially make things big for the Seagulls as they look to claim the minor premiership on home turf. 4-0 to the Seagulls.
Yeah, as I was saying there, Dwayne, really slick backline play there by Ballina Seagulls, just moving it from one side of the park to the other and shifting it back to the centre, putting in great field position, just being able to barge over the line for an easy 4-pointer with an easy kick to come. That try was by number 13 by the home side, Hayden Hansen.
So Hayden Hansen, big barraging run under the sticks, and that's what Ballina have done to get themselves the wins in this season. The Assura is basically just getting the job done early and then just grinding it out eventually. So Hayden Hansen, of course, that's now his 9th try for the campaign. He's an ex-Burleigh Bears player. Played for the Swindon Lions. It's Oliver Regan sends that one over, thus now making the call 6-0 here at Kingford Swing Park for round 17 of action.
Yeah, Tweed Coast are they're gonna get in their huddle there, and they're gonna have to come out strong if they want to stop the tide and change the momentum here in this game and try to get a bit of field position. They haven't been in Balinar's half yet. Bit of an ominous sign, and they're gonna have to really crank it up here.
So just to update again, Mooloolaba Mustangs over again. Thus now, I think the score is now 10-0 in Byron Bay. So giving you a bit of a, as I said, a bit of a live ladder on the fig. So that a win for the Mooloolaba should see them, well, Casino can't get any more than, say, 20. Well, they got to, of course, play Mullumbimby, so they can get to 28. And Mooloolaba, I think, yeah, Mooloolaba still have to win both their games. While Byron, if they want to have any crack at a home final, they got to get on with the job at Byron there, Shuri.
Yeah, they do, but they're playing a really tough opposition in Mooloolaba, and such a strong win, 94-0 in the reserve grade. And I do know that Byron requires some of their reserve grade players to step up. 2 early tries. Tough game for them.
And Shuri, Mooloolaba certainly would have been hurting after losing at the death against Coochie Hornets last week.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have. This is a great kick here, right in the in-goal area.
So that should be collected here by Braden Matthews. He's going to go for a gallop. Does well to get 10 metres out. He's going to be brought down there by Zach Beecher. 10 metres out just in front of the Tweed Coast Raiders sticks. Played there by, that's Brower. And he's going to be met there in the tackle there, 20 metres out. So this will be Brower to play it. So interesting to see him play at dummy half when you got Dan Willoughby out there, Shuri, unless there's a late injury to Dan Willoughby as well, which I don't think's the case. So this is Harrison Bell. He's one of those, he's played a bit of footy in the Laurie Daly Cup representative season the past year or two. This is going to be taken up by Connor Hickey. He's going to be greeted there in the tackle. That's Andrew Brasek. So the Raiders, they're still held there 40 metres out from their own line. And they'll get it through the hands. That's Guy Lanson, the captain. And he knows how to make a guy break. Guy Lanson, he's got numbers on the left. He gets it into Harrison Bell, kicks it, and it's just potentially going to find touch, and it does, 20 metres out from the Seagulls line.
He's big and strong, Guy Lanson, the number 1, you said captain for Tweed Coast.
That's correct.
Looking forward to him getting involved with the game here today. Just going back to the Byron Mooloolaba game, as you said, Mooloolaba will be a bit disappointed in having a tough loss against Coogin last week. But Byron know how to come from behind. They kept stuck to their game plan last week and played. They were behind the whole game until the last few minutes, and they're going to need to relive some of the memories of last week and bring it back.
So this is line. It's going to be met there by Reece Richards. He's there about 10 metres out from their own line. So I mean, as I made mention, like if they have to win up there today if they want a crack at hosting at home. As I mentioned, can still sneak in. So the only saving grace for the Red Devils there, Shuri, is as that's Liam Anderson takes it up now, and he's going to be graded by Connor Hickey. Tweed Coast and Coogin are going to play each other next week. So unless it's a draw, you'd almost think that they might sneak in at 5 only based on the fact that Tweed and Coogin are going to play each other next week, and providing it's not a draw.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. So they're going to be pulling out all stops for a win today as Jamie Lyon kicks for touch, and Ballina have the ball 40 metres in.
So this is going to be taken up there. I think that's Anthony Coleman. He's brought down there by Dan Ross. So the Tweed Coast Raiders, they want to relive. This is where they won their first premiership here about just under a year ago. And the player to watch here for the Ballina Seagulls, Anthony Coleman. When he scores at least 2 in every game he plays. So if he scores 1, you'd think a second one should be coming not far after. But a bit of an omen that's gone against Ballina this year, sure. I've said it a couple of Ballina games. Since round 1 of last year, their only losses have come against Tweed-based teams. So this is taken there 10 metres out. This is line. And I think that's Oliver Regan. He knows how to score doubles himself as well. And the Tweed Coast defence know they're going to have to keep him neutralised. They're playing the short side. This is line. Kicks across the field. And he's well read in defence, but even better well read in defence there by the Ballina Seagulls. And they're going to force the line drop out now in the first 10 minutes of play here at Kingsford Park.
Just having these NRRRL stars bringing their A-grade kicking game into the competition is a joy to watch. Just had that ball on a string, just put it right where he wanted in the in-goal area, and the defence followed through, and Tweed Coast have got a kick out here, and Ballina retained possession of the ball.
Sure, as we're going through the Tweed Coast lineup, As we made mention, they had that unfortunate defeat to the Byron Bay Red Devils last week. They've had about 5 changes from last week's line. As you mentioned, Jack O'Brien being one. Then you've got the likes of Braden Evans, Chris Cameron, Jackson Hickey and James Armstrong, all players that played last week. So they're bringing in some new personnel as well. So I'd noticed Guy Lanson wasn't playing last week. Dom Murray, who's their top try scorer with 9 tries, sure, he's back in the lineup. So and they really need to be if they're going to want to at least feature in the finals in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, they went down pretty hard. Oh, no, they got a big win in the reserve grade here too, so they might have brought a couple of good players up from reserve grade. And maybe putting some pressure on some of the starting lineup from last week who went down in that loss to Byron Bay.
So this is Beecher. Normally plays in the centre, and he's just going to be smashed down there. Should be Michael Dwayne to play from dummy half. This is the 5th and last. This is Jamie Lyon, brings it in, and he's got numbers at left. Liam Anderson's in the corner. Liam Anderson, it's just double the lead for the Ballina Seagulls. And they're getting on with business early. Seagulls at 10-0.
Really great football to watch. Ballina able to move the ball all over the park wherever they want, spreading it right, spreading it left. They look like they're going out to the right. Set play back on the inside, on the short side. Numbers, and the big fella had space and put it down with ease. Great try.
And just an update at Red Devil Park, Mooloolah 16, Byron 0. And so it's not looking good for the Byron Bay Red Devils. And if we'll look at the scores the other way, they would basically, as I said, they've been probably the team in the last few weeks. It just, that doesn't really reflect their ladder position. They're getting the job done against Casino, Tweed Coast, and Coogin. They absolutely put half a century on Coogin. And if they're not careful, all that good work's going to be for nothing.
Well, I think I should have been there. I think I might be a good luck omen when I attend, Dwayne. So perhaps me not being there. I'll give credit to the boys for their wins. Tough kick here for Ollie Regan from the sideline. He's in the shade. He's got the Sundays back. He's got a home crowd behind him, so there's not much heckling. Very strong Tweed Coast crowd, home crowd last week. A lot of noise off the hills. Great to see. Ollie Regan.
What a kick there from Ollie Regan. What a peach of a kick by Ollie Regan. Add the extras at 12-0 here at Kingston Smith Park in Ballina. Ollie Regan, of course, he's got himself 13 tries thus far in this campaign. To be looking for more coming into the final series. And of course, Liam Anderson, that was his 4th try of the campaign, scoring in games against Mooloolah and Coogin as well. Liam Anderson, of course, is the next Evans head bomber as well. So a fast start here as basically gone to plan the last couple of weeks for the Ballina Seagulls. As we get restarted here, that's the man himself, Liam Anderson. He'll be met in the tackle there by Harrison Bell. So, sure, with the Ballina Seagulls, they've had 10 players that have scored 5 tries or more this year. So that, which is actually quite the stat. They've only failed to score less than 20 points only once this year, and all their wins have come when they've scored 24 or more. Have come when they've scored at least 24. So they know that, to get these wins, they're going to have to score plenty of points, which is certainly what they're doing at the present.
Well, they just look like they're playing really great attacking football. Just the way they're moving the ball over the field, they're finding holes, having great strong runs. Forwards are working hard. They look like a really good attacking side who are able to run up the scoreboard. And
it doesn't make pretty reading if you're a Tweed Coast Raiders fan. Ballina, the last 10 out of 11, they've scored 30 or more, including in the last 5 straight, for the last 3 out of 5, they scored 44 or more points. So this is going to be 6 more coming out. And he's just handed that a gift back into the hands of Kalani Hensby, and they're going to be taken there 40 metres away from his own line. So potential gift set of 6 given to the Seagulls, and it's just handed right back to the Tweed Coast.
Well, they need it, Tweed Coast. They still haven't spent, much time at all in Ballina's half with the ball. This might be the, first or second tackle up there, so they really needed that. And now's the time they want to switch it around and really put some pressure on Ballina's defence.
So there's a nice big hard hit up there. I think that's Lukey Campbell, and he's there about 30 metres away from the line. There's going to be Brower. That's gone in their hands. That's Hickey. That's Peachy. Brought down there by Mike. I think that's Jamie Lyon bringing him down there. 35 out from the Tweed Coast line. This is the captain, Guy Lanson. Sends that one high. It's got some altitude to it. And he's just caught Liam Anderson napping, but it's just going to have too much oomph on the ball. 20-metre restart now for the Seagulls.
Yeah, Tweed got about 40 metres out from Balinar's try line, and that's as far as I've got so far. Quick tap.
So if you just joined us here at Ballina Seagulls 12 in the grand final rematch over the Tweed Coast Raiders nil. If you can see there on the Ladbrokes scoreboard, head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. Download the app today on your tablets or smartphones as we get back to live action here. 20 metres out from the Seagulls line. This will be Michael Dwayne to play it. He goes to short side into the hands of Line. He's opting to look for the pass. Fought twice of it. So this will be now on the fourth tackle here, just about 5 metres inside field. Shorey, as Will made mention of the other game being played today between the Byron Bay Red Devils and Wollumbar. If Byron can't find it against the Mustangs, they got Ballina next week, who's their bogey team, and in this form, might not be very much pretty reading for him.
No, it's not, but as you said, we still, Byron Bay still get a guaranteed spot in the finals?
No, not guaranteed by any stretch, not at all. It's just they've got to hope that the results are staying as it is now. Plus, I think if Coogin beat Mullumbimby today, then it comes down to for and against. So if Byron are going to go down, they've got to make sure they don't go down by too much, because then Coogin can make the difference up in the other 2 games, and then they'll still be out the back door. So, as I was making mention here, Dominic Murray he's actually been missing since June 30, I believe. So he'll be a welcome addition for the Tweed Coast Raiders. Their top try scorer of 9 tries. And if you Tweed Coast 4 times has any team managed to score more than 20 on the Tweed Coast this year. So only 4 teams have managed to score more than 20. So Ballina will know that they need to keep the ball rolling, because Tweed, they have got the points on them. They did well despite in a losing effort to put 20 on Byron last week there, Shorey. So this is going to be now in the second phase. So this is 30 metres out. Michael Dwayne. That's Line into their hands. I think that's Oliver Regan. Knows how to make a line break, but he's going to just be held there, just shy of 20 metres out. About 5 inside field. So this will be played there by Michael Dwayne. Line. I think that's Brasek. He's going to be brought down there, and a nice tackle there by Luke Campbell. 20 metres out, 5th and last. This is Dwayne. Jess Perry into their hands. That cut out pass in the try scorer there. Liam Anderson kicks it across. Goes into the hands of Guy Lanston. Bit of a fend there by Guy Lanston. He's going to be brought down there. Liam Anderson thought about rolling him into touch. It's just not going to happen for him.
Yeah, Ballinar's get involved in the play of the ball there. And this is a tough, big defensive set of 6 from Ballina here. They're going to put it on. They've got Tweed Coast down in their corner. And there's been a little break in play since we've had any points put on the board. And both teams grinding it out in the middle of the field here now. So this is going to be taken up by the Dom Murray, who, if Tweed are going to get themselves back in this game, you'd think that he's going to have to feature on the score sheet at some point. So this is going to be now played by, I think that's Ethan Brower. Kick goes up. Got some decent distance there of the Raiders, and it's bounced back, so this will be interesting to see what happens. The bounce didn't quite favour Ollie Regan as much as he liked. But nevertheless, he's just held there 20 metres out now. This is Reece Richards from dummy half. He's going to be brought down there. Luke Campbell's by far been the most involved in defence for the Tweed Coast Raiders. And he's putting on an effort which was a reflection of the last year's premiers of 2018 there, Shorey. Yeah, great big kick down there, and the bounce was all over the shop. Good kick for Tweed there. And they're going to defend here. Ballina looked really on top in the first 10 or so minutes of play, but it looks to have evened up here a bit, and Tweed have, they can play themselves back into this game, 5th and last here.
So kick will go up here by Jamie Lyons, got some serious height to it. And there is chasers. Reece Richards was trying to go for it there for a bit of his liking, but just fell into the hands there of Darryl Brooks.
Fell into the hands. He leaped up like a leopard and plucked it out of the air. Great take with a lot of pressure on. Great big high ball from Jamie Lyon. Pressure is on.
So this is Dom Murray looking for a run, and he's just met there in defence there by Hayden Hansen. And they're 30 metres out, just right in the middle of the field. This is all he's seeing from dummy half. Gets in the hands of Luke Campbell. Campbell just held there 40 metres out. This is going to be looking for a big idea by Luke Toon. Probably unlucky not to feature for the Northern Rivers Titans under 23 squad this year. This is going to be Ollie Singh. Sends her up. Some real high kicks early in the first quarter of this one here at Ballina. And well read there by, I think that's Oliver Regan. Well diffused there by Ollie Regan there in a defence there, Shorey.
Yeah, a couple of big bombs on there, and Tweed Coast really, they've worked on that in training. They're putting a lot of pressure on the receiver, and they got good field position here. I really like the forwards coming off the bench for Tweed. They've had a big impact here, and I think they've shifted the dynamic of the game a little bit, and they're gaining a lot of strong meters up the centre of the field.
You'd think that the best bet for Tweed Coast Raiders is to force a potential mistake here to at least get a set of 6 inside Ballinar's half the field, because all their set of 6s started, if not inside their own half the field, in their own 20 for most of them. And Ballina have shown many times in the past couple of months what's come out of this is there's a bit of play off the ball there, and Michael Dwayne has just absolutely planted, I believe that's Harley Peachy, into the turf. Ooh. And so this is now, Michael Dwayne is just losing frustration a bit there, Shorey, but let's see what the Tweed Coast Raiders can do with a full set of 6 inside the Seagulls half a field and potentially get themselves back into this game. This is going to be taken up by Kalani Ensby. They're getting it through the hands of the right personnel to get the job done here, Shorey. That's Lanson. He's going to be brought down just inside 20 by Andrew Brasek. This will be now Dan Willoughby to play it. Plays on the left side. Gets it through. This is the side that worked well for him in last year's grand final, but it's well met there. Off the kick there by the Ballina Seagulls.
Yeah, that's a good set of 6 there by Tweed Coast Raiders. Just lying at the end of the last set of 6, just dropped it onto his toe, tried to kick for himself, but the ball was retrieved by the Tweed Coast players, and they're in good position here.
Shorey, the Tweed Coast Raiders, this is their first home game in about 5 weeks, coming off 4 straight home games, and they're coming with a 4 wins out of 6. Their only losses, of course, were the two strand game, the one stream game against Northern United, and then of course the game last week against Byron Bay. I think it's what's let them undone a bit, Shorey, and it's pretty much since round 1 when Drew Lanson, the brother of Guy Lanson, went out in the first game. They've had no players that have featured in every game. Oh, big hit! What a hit there! I think that was from Jess Perry, and it just absolutely smashed him into the turf, and it's going to be given a penalty to the Tweed Coast Raiders. Whoa!
Well, that was lucky. That was a crushing hit. He lined him up. The attacking player could see him lining him up. He didn't care. He ran straight into it. I'm not sure how he got up, but he got straight up on his feet. Very tough.
And just to confirm, that was Jess Perry, Shorey. I mean, the halfback.
Oh, massive hit. Massive hit. It's a bit of a shame he got called high. There's arguments in the crowd here that it wasn't high.
So this is now going to be Connor Hickey, meant for the hands of Oliver Singh, but his opposite number, Jamie Lyon, has collected the spills, and they've just gifted that 20 metres out from the Seagulls line. Shorey, I was just to make mention, the Tweed Coast Raiders are coming into 4 winnings out of the last 6, and no players played every game this year, so 3 players have played 14 out of a possible 16. So whilst when you look on the side of Ballina, it's a completely different story altogether. I think they've got 13 players have played 13 this year out of a possible 15. So, and every player except one that has played 8 games how's this for a stat, Shorey? Every player except one that has played 8 games or more for Ballina this year has scored on the score sheet.
Yeah, having that consistency really shows in Ballina's lineup, and yeah, they just work so well together. A very low percentage of mistakes Ballina have had today, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So 7 players from last week for the Tweed Coast Raiders have only played 6 games or less last year. So whilst they've got some bit more personnel back for today's game, and that should be knocked back, and it is in the hands of Guy Lanson. It's going to be played from dummy half by Braden Matthews.
Yeah, just watching there, Anthony Coleman was shepherding the ball a little bit there and was never going to take that big high kick, but he got himself in good position, and the play worked well for Ballina there.
So if you're a Byron Bay Red Devil supporter, block your ears. It's Moolumbar 22-0 over Byron Bay at Red Devil Park at the present. And now it's not even a matter of if Tweed Coast win here or not. They're going to be keeping an eye on that for and against. and probably an eye a bit further up the road at Les Donnelly over between Mullumbimby and Coogin, seeing what's happening there, because the call could come down based on it is to for and against with Coogin. So whilst, yeah, not pretty reading there for the Byron Bay Red Devils after having a few impressive weeks basically just had to fish themselves out of it, because I thought, for me, Shorey, they were just going to fall out and they've put on a brave effort, but it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a roller coaster of a season, getting off to a really good start, having a bit of a lull there in the middle, coming strong again. Unfortunately, they may be heading down the track again.
Yeah, so, I mean, you don't want to have to rely on for and against. And here's another thing for, in all fairness, Shorey, let's look at the Tweed Coast. They've actually, well, they're sitting on 20 points at the present, but it doesn't reflect the wins. They lost 2 points early on the season against Mullumbimby. They won the game, but they lost it to Mullumbimby on a technicality. So they would effectively be on 22. So effectively, Byron would actually be, I think, out.
What was that technicality?
I don't think it was unregistered player. I can't confirm that, but that was so. I think it was a game against Mullumbimby. I think in round 3. And hopefully for the Tweed Coders race, it doesn't prove to be decisive at the end. I actually did say that in I think their first game we covered against Bombay Mustangs this year. So let's watch this space. Still another week to go. So we get back to live action there, just inside, just off the halfway line there, the Ballina Seagulls. This will be Michael, I think that's Michael Dwayne to play it to the hands of Line. Big high kick from Jamie Line. Should meet Guy Lanston about 25 metres out from the Tweed Coast line. And then the Ballina Seagulls will just give it the penalty. So Tweed's, I feel sure if the Tweed Coast Raiders can just get a full set of 6 inside Ballina's half a field, that this might prove to be a close to go. Oh, geez. Okay.
That's a comedy error of a kick, but no harm, just not too much gain.
I know if there's a commentator's curse. I was just about to say if they can get a set of 6 inside their own half, and well, they're on halfway now, so I think this game might prove to be closer than what it's panning out to be.
Yeah, it has really settled out, and it's been played in the middle of the field now, as opposed to on the Tweed Coast Raiders line. It's anybody's game still.
So it's a little bit better reading now for Byron Bates. Now Byron have just scored 22-6 at Red Devil Park. So still win about the 16 off the pace. This is Lanston. And just for his trouble, forward pass. So Ballina Seagulls will have a scrum feed about 20 out from their own try line. Yeah,
Ballina Seagulls just keep getting led off the hook in these positions when Tweed have got the ball down in their 20-metre line. So if Tweed can manage to keep them on the hook, put some more pressure on and put some points on the board, then we're going to have a good game on our hands, Nev. So we're about 30 minutes and change here at Kingford Park in the first half, and if you just joined us, scores remain. Ballina Seagulls 12 to the Tweed Coast Raiders nil, proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes, who are the major sponsors of the NRRRL for season 2 2K19 and of Mark Off Media here on YouTube. And they'll be, of course, proud sponsors when we head into the final, straight into the finals in a couple of weeks' time. So it's me, Michael Dwayne, to play it just inside the 40-metre mark from the Ballina side of field. That's Jess Perry, and he's going to be brought down there by, I think, Dan Willoughby as well as Luke Toon. Always looking busy in defence there, Luke Toon. This is Michael Dwayne. Nice tackle there from Dan Willoughby around the legs. So fifth and last, right on the halfway mark. This is Jamie Line to send it up high. And this is going to be well taken there by, I think that's Darryl Brooks. It beats about 4 players, does well to get about 30 metres away on the Tweed Coast side of field. This is going to be Dom Murray. He's just monstered there, 40 metres out on the second phase of play. So there's a bit of an interchange now. Lockie Dawson's coming on now for the Tweed Coast Raiders. And I can't see that who's in place of. Nice tackle there by Michael Dwayne. So they're about 45 metres away from the Seagulls line. Tweed Coast sends that one up. And there's about, they would like to have a bit more chasers. Ollie Regan will take that easy as he likes. And he's going to be taken there about 10 metres away from his own line there, Shorey. Yeah, the kick chase today's been pretty good. That one was just lacking a little bit. But they good deep kick and got them got them deep. They can force a penalty here, but the penalties have been few and far between for Ballina.
Nice little dummy run. He's going to be held there 30 metres out from the Seagulls line. So, Tweed Coast, they've had some big wins at the start of the year. They had a big 60-0. I think it was 60, somewhere in the 60-point region to nil against Northern United in the first game, and they had a big win against Evans Head a few weeks ago. But despite that, they haven't scored more than 30 points on any other team this year, Shorey. So they don't want this one to get stretched out too far. Nicely taken there by Guy Lanson, and he looked a little bit too easy for me. Ballina didn't really try to force a mistake there at Shorey. Dom Murray, he's just belted down there by Jamie Lyon. Sorry, Shorey.
Just saying, Tweed have been really good under that high ball. They've put a lot of pressure on the high ball. Both teams have today. I guess conditions like this, the sun's not in anybody's eyes. It's a nice clear day. The ball will be dry, and they're plucking them out of the air.
Shorey, despite Ballina being 12-0 in front, the Tweed Coast have only scored less than 10 points twice this year. So they'll still want to get a wriggle on and not think that this one is safe by any stretch. The kick goes up across the field. That's Harley Peach. He sends that into the hands of Oliver Egan, who's just read that so well as he does. And he's looking to gain himself a few more metres. And he's just going to be held there on the first tackle there, about 25 metres out from the Seagulls line. This will be Reece Riches. He's going to be belted down there by Jamie Donaldson. Another try for Byron Bay, 22-12 at Red Devil Park. So they're going to have to do well still. They pull back 22 points against a resurgent Wollongbar Mustangs team who, as I made mention about 8 days ago, were in a tough contest against the Cochin Hornets.
One thing I did notice about Byron Bay last week, they didn't seem to get flustered when they were behind on the scoreboard, and Todd Carney's out there and keeping stick to
nice
that
kick
game
by
plan.
Perry. This is one-on-one. Oh, well read it. Thought the kick there from Jess Perry. And they've got a couple on their sleeve. This is Liam Anderson looking to try, potentially get a double. Won't get there. So they're 5 metres out from the Tweed Coast line. Josh Golden has called time. I wonder what the... So it'll be interesting to see what he's called out of this. Oh, I think that was just the last set. So Tweed Coast will now have this one 5 metres out from their own line. Ballina have just done what they needed to do, is just to neutralise the Tweed Coast Raiders, keeping them from this end of the field. Willoughby passes in the hands. They'll be desperate for a line break, Tweed Coast. That's the man to do it, potentially Dom Murray. That's gone in the hands. Donaldson, Hensby. He had Darryl Brooks on his left, but probably just didn't realise he was there. This is going to be taken up by Donaldson. And they're now just shy past the 40-metre mark. Kick goes up there by Ollie Singh. Just catch the defenders there for the Ballina Seagulls napping.
What a great kick right in the corner.
So I think this will be Ollie Regan now to try and beat his beat. Just ran around in front of about 3 or 4 Tweed Coast players, and he's just held off there 10 metres out from his own line. Second phase, this is Liam Anderson, Riches, and he's met down there in the tackle by Lockie Dawson. This will be Michael Dwayne to play it. He plays it into the hands. I think that's Zach Beecher. He's brought down there by the likes of Dan Ross, and I think that's Jess Perry. He's brought down there. 4 phase of play. Tweed Coast Raiders have done well to hold Ballina of 30 metres away from their own line. Michael Dwayne is going for a little charging run, 5th and last. Done well to keep him inside the Seagulls half a field. Lyon will send this one downtown and should be met there by Guy Lanson. And he'll go for a gallop now. He'll want to get as many metres as he can off this first phase, but he's greeted there by Phil Crosby. 30 metres out.
It's been a real arm wrestle of a match since Ballina put the last points on the board, and it's a real grinding. It's either a strip or a loss there.
So that's gone into the hands of Jack Durheim. They're 35 metres out. Ballina will be looking to extend this lead even further and stretch it past 12 points. So this is going to be Anthony Coleman. As I made mention, he crosses a stripe. It's always more than once. That's taken up there. I think that's Andrew Brasek. And they're inside 20 Ballina with a few phases of play left up their sleeve. This is Michael Dwayne. And he's no stranger to the try line himself. He was the top try scorer in the under-23s competition for the Northern Rivers Titans that won it last year. This is, I think that's Anthony Cole. This will be now 5th and last. Michael Dwayne to play it. And so this is Coleman. So this will, and he gets it away to Perry. Perry looks for that gap, finds it well. And the last couple of months, when he finds a gap, it constitutes the points. 16 and now to the Seagulls with around 5 minutes left in the first half.
I was just going to say how well Tweed Coast are defending their line. They thought they had them wrapped up. It was 5th and last. Sam Perry, geez, he's playing really well. Jess Perry, sorry. Jess Perry's playing really well, and he just put himself in the right position. Ballina got that offload, and he scores right under the post. They were defending so well, and they were holding off all the pressure for Ballina, who in the first 10 minutes laid on those 12 points. Brings the score up to 16 with a pretty easy kick to come here now, and it's going to be a bit demoralising for Tweed Coast going into the sheds at half time.
Sure. So Jess Perry, that's his 4th try for the campaign, including a double against Coogin.
I look forward to seeing Jess Perry's big hit on the highlights reel at the end of the season.
Now, sure, as I made mention earlier in the piece, Ballina, their only losses since round 1 of last year were against Tweed teams. Jess Perry scores against Tweed teams. Tweed Coast Raiders going to have two tries against Coogin, and of course the other try coming against Moolumbar Mustangs. So that's a hat trick for him, I think, as far as Tweed Shire-based teams are concerned.
Yeah, he looks good. Just put himself in the right spot there, as we said. The kick to come.
So Regan sends that one over.
He strikes it. He likes it.
Ballina Seagulls 18, Tweed Coast Raiders 0 here at Kingford Smith Park for round 17 of action in the NRRRL for season 2019. Proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly and download the app today. And Shorey, better reading now for Byron Bay, 22-16 as we head into the last few minutes there as well. So as I think that's when I made mention, it's all about their for and against if they can't get the job done against the Mustangs.
If they can, if they can believe in themselves, stick to their game plan and just eke this one out. They've got a really strong forward pack. Last week their forward pack really brought it home for them. Dylan Montgomery, he's just a workhorse. He was putting his hand up every set of 6, and it makes all the difference.
Of course, Dylan Montgomery featured for the Seagulls in last year's grand final here. And he was probably one of the better players of a team that were the runners-up, which when Ballina play a grand final, that was the only time I think they lost, at least in the NRRRL at least, they're losing a grand final at home. So that's Liam Anderson. He's held there off the mark from Don Murray, and as well as Kalani Hensby. And so the Tweed Coast Raiders can ill afford to let in another try in the last few minutes. So they'll probably end up having the last use of the ball. This is Lanston, goes for a gallop. He's brought down there by Jamie Lyon and Reece Riches. And a penalty to boot as well. So Tweed Coast Raiders will get some valuable metres to head down the field.
Yeah, I no doubt think that Ballina's ex-players, the likes of Montgomery and who's the hooker? Sorry, I forget.
Dan Willoughby. Sorry. Oh, you mean for Ballina? Andrew Batiste. Andrew
Batiste, who starred in Ballina's squad last team. Such great players have gone over to Byron, and it just shows the strength of the Ballina roster. Some of their star players had to leave because they had to make room for more stars in the way of Jamie Lyon and the crew. So they've got a really strong club here at Ballina.
A strong family club indeed. So this is Lanston once again, and he's had that. So it's now 22-18. At Red Devil Park. Moolumbar still just got their nose in front after having 22 unanswered points early in the piece. So there's still a lot more to be told in this final 2 weeks of the prelims before we head into the final. Still more tales to be told and doors to be open. And it's not looking pretty now for the Tweed Coast Raiders at 18 points to nil, who, at the very least, has, once I say that, that's Darryl Brooks to go for the corner. He's kicked it. And it's just going to have too much oomph. So it should be a 20-metre restart now for the Seagulls. So Shorey, the Tweed Coast Raiders, who have done so well to win the grand final last year on away territory, and even just as good as the crowd, they've actually neutralised the fit Yobbo's Hill around here. I still I'm still deafened to this day how much noise it was here on grand final day. But for the life of them, they do not want to be that team that wins a grand final and then fails to make the top 5 the following year.
Yeah, that would be a shame for them. And to rival Yobbo Hill, I don't know what they call it over.
The Hillbillies.
The Hillbillies up at Tweed. Geez, they were a rowdy bunch last week, and there wasn't many of us Byron supporters there, but we were tamed by the Hillbillies behind us.
They always bring the noise, though, the Hillbillies. So this is Oliver Singh here to play it from dummy half, and he's just spilt there, Ollie Singh, and should be the last play of the first half. Balanar, and there it is. The hooter has gone for the first half of action, and Balanar now surely marching to put any reasonable doubts on the minor premiership to claim it officially here today. Shorey, who did you like in that first half for the Seagulls?
Jess Perry. He looked really good. I love a good, big, strong hit put on by a half-back. And Jamie Lyon, he worked that back line so well, especially for those first 2 tries especially. They seem to look like a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, I like the Tweed bench coming off and making an impact and neutralising Ballina somewhat in the second half of the first half, but Ballina too strong with that late try, so they're going to have to come out of the gates firing, Tweed Coast.
Okay, so sure, I'm just running. Well, so let's have a little bit of a reflection on what is happening right now as far as the finals go before we go to a break. So Ballina, they'll finish first today, by even if they have to. Before this, they had to they basically had to lose by 52 in the next 2 games. Mooloolaba had to win by 52. Mooloolaba were looking good for 22 points early, but they've been brought right back. Let's forget about that. Ballina will have the minor premiership today, sign up. Then it comes down to Mooloolaba Casino. Mullumbimby, whilst they can't make the finals, both Mooloolaba and Casino do have to play games against Mullumbimby, so they are proven to maybe bet who's going to finish second and who's going to finish third, so to get that home final. So, but I feel both have to win those games to have a shot. Casino, they won their game only just against Evans Head, so Mullumbimby is no certainty, but they do have the bye next week. They'll get 2 points. They're effectively at 26. Mooloolaba, at the moment, if they hold on to Byron Bay, they'll go to 26. They have a differential of 172. They'll go to second, which leaves Byron on 21 points. They're so far down by 4 with a points differential of 88. They'll go down to 84. Coogin, they're on 52 starting against Mooloolaba, assuming they win. And Byron don't. They'll both be on 21. And Tweed on 20 will be forced down to 6 heading into next week. That's where we stand. I hope you all got it, folks. Otherwise, go online, look at the ladder.
All right, if you're at home listening, just repeat that back to yourselves. and it'll be nice and clear.
Rewind this. We're doing our best. That's the joy of finals, folks. There's still a lot more to be told. And we will provide updates in the other game as they come to hand. So that, at the moment, it's halftime here at Kingford Smith Park in Balanar. Balanar 18, Tweed Coast Raiders 0. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 for the second half of action. Dwayne Neville here with Michael Shaw at Kingston Smith Park in Ballina, getting ready for the second half of action for round 17 between the Ballina Seagulls and Tweed Coast Raiders. Both teams are back out on the paddock. And if you're supporting the Tweed Coast Raiders, it's not looking pretty. 18-0, Ballina Seagulls are in front in this grand final rematch. And whilst their finals also sort of hinge on what happened at Red Devil Park, it's 22-18. Mooloolaba just in front after scoring 22 answered points. So if Byron Bay somehow get their noses in front there, Shorey, Tweed Coast are going to have to play well to beat Coogin to get the 5th spot.
Good to see you again, Dwayne. Good afternoon, everybody at home. You're coming live from Ballina as Tweed Coast kick off. You keep on mentioning the Devils game there, Nev. It's in my head. But here we are.
It's finals, mate. It's finals. What can we say?
Ballina running left to right. We've got the beautiful ocean breeze coming off the Ballina River, and Tweed Coast looking to get back in front, get their noses into this game and show why they are the reigning premiers.
So this is going to be taken up here by, that's Andrew Brasek, so they'll have this 35 metres out now. So the Tweed Coast Raiders, if they want to try and pull back some of this lead and salvage a potential 5th spot, they're going to have to, well, I think they're going to have to score first and probably in the first 10 or 15 minutes, Shorey.
They are. They're going to have to come out here with an intent. And they nearly gave away a penalty there, but the ref didn't blow his whistle. Good to see.
Nice.
Up goes the high ball from Jamie. He's putting them up high today.
So, sorry, Shorey.
Oh, sorry. They're just answering all these questions under that high ball today, aren't they?
Yeah, so a lot of high ball, but take it off. But I mean, this is a much free-flowing game than the last time we were here about 3 weeks ago, when it was basically a cow paddock after many litres of rain. So, so this is Don Murray. Takes a big hit up, and he's just well to get another 10-15 metres. So he's about 40 metres away now from the Tweed Coast line, playing on the short side. They're coming out with a bit more intent, the Tweed Coast Raiders. So they've about 45 metres away now for the Tweed Coast line. There's a big left-hand side play. You probably can't see it on your screen here. Oh, that was a late hit on Dan Willoughby off camera. But nice run here by Guy Lanson. And he's just passed that into the hands of Jack Durheim. And I think that was a forward pass. Out of all that, let's see what referee Josh Gollan's going to call out of that. He's calling that one, he's handing that one back to the Tweed Coast Raiders.
What an exciting passage of play, Dwayne Neville. Very exciting. Good to see. Guy Larson running with intent. And like you said, it was a late hit over there. Ballina lucky not to get a penalty taken back there, but perhaps to Tweed Coast favour, they've got a penalty 10 out.
So it's 42 minutes. This would potentially be the best opportunity that Tweed Coast Raiders have had thus far in this game. A full set of 6 right 10 metres out from the Ballina Seagulls line. So this will be now taken up. Big hit here by Jamie Donaldson. Big left side contingent ready for the second phase of play. This Willoughby will play it. So dangerous from dummy half Willoughby. This is Lanston. And he's going to be just wrapped up. Oh, he's crawling that line. Getting a bit desperate there, Guy Lanston. Willoughby plays it. Big hit at the spin here by, I think that's Luke Toon. And this will be Willoughby to play it. He's keen on that short side. Sends it through the hands to Ollie Singh. And that's going to be taken up by Dan Ross. Ballina holding their nerve at defence. And that desperate times now for, this is Willoughby, goes himself into the head. First try coming out for the Tweed Coast Raiders. I think it's looking pretty for him. They needed to get on the score sheet early in the second half, and they've done it. 18-4, kick to come.
You called it, Neville. You said if they wanted points, if they wanted to be in this game, they need it first, and that's what they've done. They've come out with a really strong play. Big hit-ups by all the men across the park. Left to right, managed to get a squeeze over the line. Nothing too pretty, the football, but just big bodies moving forward, and then just forced his way over the line with an outstretched arm and got the job done. That's all they need to do to win.
So now 18-4 now, kick to come for the Tweed Coast Raiders, proudly sponsored by Ladbrokes. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. So what the start that they needed, the Tweed Coast Raiders. They could have ill afforded to conceded 22 to potentially 24 unanswered points. And this could potentially be a start of things to come for the Tweed Coast Raiders to potentially make this an even game and put some light back into their potential finals campaign.
Just confirming, Dwayne, that try was scored by number 9, Dan Willoughby.
Dan Willoughby, as I made mention a couple of plays back, he is probably one of the, if not the most dangerous dummy half from inside 5 metres from a try line. Kick's got, just waved away there. So thus remains the score, 18 points to 4. Ballina Seagulls over the Tweed Coast Raiders here at Kingford Smith Park. And it's now 22-all at Red Devil Park early in the second half there. So there's still plenty of twists and turns. Just enjoy the ride, folks.
Now, Dwayne, we know the Ballina Seagulls are captain coached by Jamie Lyon, yeah. And then Tweed Coast Raiders have a former NRRRL star.
Jamie Lyon's teammate, Brent Kite.
Where did they play together? At Manly?
You're probably asking the wrong person when it comes to things about Manly.
Oh, I didn't catch a score on the football on Friday night. How did that go too, Dwayne? Of the Broncos game.
Okay, well...
If anyone can send me the score of the Broncos game on Friday, I missed it. Dwayne wants to keep updated.
For a man on the pulse, you're well behind the times, my friend. You can't even get the name of the place we're at right. Okay, back to serious stuff. We're now in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And that was Jamie Lyon bringing that one down 40 metres out. So this is Willoughby to play it into the hands. Michael Dwayne greets him in the tackle 45 metres out. So they've just got a little bit more pep in their step, the Tweed Coast Raiders. Ballina just doing what they need to do to neutralise the defence. And as I made mention about in the first half, Shorey, give them a set of 6 inside 20 and they will make it the difference. And I think that's just really been the difference thus far in this game as far as when it comes to field positions concerned, Shorey.
Well, that's great play there. They're getting a bit more creative, Tweed Coast, which is putting Ballina on their heels a little bit. And a great kick there, a great kick chase, and yeah, they're looking a lot better in the second half.
So Shorey, and as I made mention, Byron have just brought it back to 22 all, as I made mention. So when you look at that, so on the scheme of things, if Byron somehow got the win, they're in the finals. And if the scores remain the same here, Tweed will remain on 6. They play Coogin. The best they can do if they beat Coogin is 22. Byron will go up to 23. So Byron cannot be caught. Then it comes down to Coogin v Tweed, assuming, well, we don't know what the scores are in Malum and Coogin. So Coogins on 21 points. So still more to be played out in the next remaining 35 odd minutes. So this is going to be Darryl Brooks to clean it up. And he'll go for a gallop. Just falls underneath Jamie Lyon, but he's going to be just held about 2 metres away from his own line. And oh dear! Oh geez, you got to feel, who is it? Oh, Harrison Bell.
They're getting maybe a bit too confident there with their ball movement. It probably wasn't necessary such a quick play of the ball and the 10-metre pass out to the right. A simple hit up there would have got. Sure,
you got to feel for Harrison Bell there. He's one of the younger lads in this Tweed Coast Raiders lineup, and
it is a bit of inexperience there.
Well, he's played in the Laurie Daly Cup system, as I made mention. So oh geez,
it's all right. They've got to show what they're made of here and hold their nerve.
So this will be now a full set of 6 in tow. Jamie Lyon to play at 10 metres out, and he's just had a bit of a friendly fire, I think, but he's just been brought down there by a guy. I think that's Ollie Singh. So this is and it's just off. Oliver Regan spills that, and Tweed Coast Raiders now off the hook. Scrum fee coming out 10 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, that's what they needed. It wasn't a kiss of death, that drop ball. Ballina have made a mistake and they're back where they started with 6 to go and an opportunity to get out of their own half.
And if you're going to hear that, points. That's a sigh of relief from Harrison Bell.
Yeah, exactly. That lets him off the hook.
Yeah. So he'll learn from it, no doubt. But I was just having a run through some of these stats here for the Tweed Coast Shores. I covered a Ballina Jets game last week, and then when I was going through some of their players, there's not in today's match day squad, but just in their squad of players that they've used. They've got 11 ex-Ballina Jets players in this current squad.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so penalty given there to Ballina, so that's not going to help matters. Tweed Coast, we want to march this down as far down as the field as they possibly can. They've proven that they've got some potential. The kick's not going to find touch. It's going in the hands of Zach Beecher, and he just monsters it back up to 35 metres away from the Tweed Coast lines. This is Michael Dwayne to play it in the hands of Anthony Coleman. He's going to be brought down there. I believe that's Luke Toon getting involved in the tackle. One of the busier players now for the Tweed Coast Raiders. This is going to be taken up here by Andrew Brasek. Michael Dwayne to play now. Big contingent on the right side, goes left. That's Hayden Hansen, and he's going to be held there 20 metres. Tweed still just got some life to him at 18-4, but Ballina will want to extinguish any life that the Tweed Coast Raiders have. This is Crosby, Lyon, into the hands of Dalham, Oliver Regan, and he's just held on to that, Ollie Regan, I think. No, he hasn't. That's off 2 consecutive sets of 6. Oliver Regan in just about the same area.
It looked like he nearly held on to that, but I think what's happened, it's bobbled out and would have touched the opposition player and then constituted a knock-on. He was just looking up at the defence coming at him, and he got the spooks.
So that's twice, and then it's a matter of minutes there for Ollie Regan. Normally he catches it, he makes the line break. It's shut the door, it's kind of stuff. So anyways, this is Guy Lanston, goes for a run. He's brought down there by Anthony Coleman, and as well as with the likes of Nicholas Ritter as well. Nicholas Ritter, Yeah, he hasn't had them. He's had a little bit of a quiet game. Well, it means his first game back. He didn't feature in last week's game, as I told you at the top of the program. But he was looking to get more involved. This is Willoughby. Brought down there, that's Philip Crosby and Jack Durheim. Just on halfway there. So Willoughby try scoring, looking for a double, and he's going to be brought down there. I think that's Philip Crosby. So they're just 40 metres out. Making some big metres here, the Tweed Coast Raiders. They're putting on display glimpses of what won them the premiership last year. Both the minor and major premierships. This is the fifth and last. Lanson kicks across the carpet. Should be greeted there. And he's going to be held there just about 15 metres away from his own line there, Shorey. Michael Dwayne plays it on the second phase. This is Zach Beecher to play it in the middle of the field.
What do you reckon, Dwayne? I think Michael Dwayne has to have one of the best names in the comp.
You're taking a line out of Nathan Cross's book?
I haven't heard that Crossy say that
Says
before.
He's my favourite player, but...
Well, I think he is. Well, he just has two sensational first names wrapped up into one.
Okay, no, but you're full of puns today, Michael Shaw. Okay.
Thanks, Dwayne Neville.
So is he your favourite player too, then?
You know who my favourite player is.
Okay. And you're going to be asking him to sign a book in the next couple of weeks?
I am. Well, let's give a plug to Todd Carney. He's got a book coming out, The Hard Truth.
Shush. Shush.
No free ads?
No. So, anyways, 30 metres out. This is Tweed Coast Raiders now. And he's going to be, nice hit there by Ray Buchanan. And for his effort, he's going to be conceding a penalty. And this will send some valuable metres deep inside the Ballina Seagulls half a field there, Shorey.
Yeah, just probably a little bit of extras in that tackle that didn't need to happen. Didn't provide any assistance to Ballina there, and just conceded an easy penalty. And they're not gaining too much on their kicks, if at all, or kicks for touch. Excuse me. But here they go. See if they can do it the old-fashioned way. Be big bodies running out the centre.
So as we get back now, live action, 30 metres out here for the Tweed Coast Raiders. Another try, they'll get it within 8, and then it's potentially going to put Ballina into a little bit of nervous territory. Shouldn't affect anything as far as minor premiership is concerned, but the Tweed Coast Raiders, Brent Kite, no doubt would have told him that this game is so imperative, especially of what's playing. I'm just looking at that ball out there. That's Don Murray. Is that the match ball? That's a different. That looks like a juniors ball. Yeah, it looks like a juniors ball. But anyway, that's Harley Peachy, and they're about 2 or 3 metres away. They're looking dangerous. Willoughby goes himself. This is Guy Lanson. Lanson goes himself. Probably would have thought twice about passing it. He's just going to be held short. This will be now restart now about 5 metres away from the Seagulls line.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity there. I'm not sure if he knew it was the 5th and last. He had players. He had players to pass it to, but he's just gone to ground. Just
an update at Red Devil Park. Net Moolumbar now 26-22 over the Byron Bay Red Devils. So that's just breathing potential new life for the Tweed Coast Raiders. They still keeps them in the frame as far as the top 5 is concerned. Michael Dwayne, a big don't argue, and they're about. And I think that's Oliver Singh there, just clutching at his face there in back play. I think he copped a bit of a knock whilst he was brought down there by Michael Dwayne. That's Michael Dwayne now playing for dummy half, and he's just going to be held about 45 metres away from the Seagulls line.
He's a little attack dog, isn't he, Michael Dwayne?
And that's very, very closely for the Tweed Coast Raiders on the 5th play. Just hit the reset button for the Ballina Seagulls. 30 metres out, they'll have a fresh set of 6 to play with, and to potentially put this one out of reach for the Tweed Coast Raiders.
Well, as Crossy would say, your favourite player, he's just produced.
And now your favourite player.
He's just produced a great series of runs there. There was 2 blokes lying down in the background, clutching at themselves in agony, while he makes a few quick dummy half plays, concedes a penalty, and now he's got his side to 5 metres out from the try line.
So Perry into the hands of Lyon into Regan. There's Reese Richards on the right side, but that's going to be Ray Buchanan brought down just inside 10 metres. So this will be now played here by Jack Durheim. This should find the hands of, I think that's Anthony Brasek. And he's so close to the line. Michael Dwayne now, the player from dummy half. He's a little keen on that left side, goes there. Into the hands, that's Hayden Hansen. That's, I think, Nicholas Ritter. Ever so close, and oh geez, that is twice in as many minutes. The Tweed Coast Raiders on the 5th play has hit the tackle reset button for the Seagulls, and it's 10 metres out, and another set of 6 coming now, and they're just going to have to hold on for another set of 6 here, Shorey. That's Ritter for the first set.
Yeah, Tweed Coast Raiders coaching staff got hands on heads down here, and they're getting vocal from the sideline. Tense stuff for them.
So this is Jack Durheim. He's going to be brought down there by Braden Matthews. Michael Dwayne to play it now on the 3rd tackle. Lyon into the hands now. That's Perry. Perry into the hands of Anthony Coleman. Offloads it into the hands. That's Oliver Regan. He held on to it this time, Oliver Regan. So Hayden Hansen now to play it. He'll go short side. Big overlap pass into Liam Anderson. And oh, he's so close. Bumped into the hands of Zach Beecher. I think that might have been a hint forward. And I think Josh Gollan is going to see, let's see what Josh Gollan calls out of that. I think he might have popped it a bit forward. And what a try that would have been for Ballina. So,
well, it looked like a try for me from here, but we couldn't get any further away from the play of the ball. And
we literally can't get any further away from the play of the ball. So scrum feed 10 metres out for the Tweed Coast Raiders.
It was a good passage of play, nevertheless. That floating cutout pass to the wing. And so what's he done? He's just
scrum feed to the Raiders.
It was forward pass, wasn't it?
Knock on, I think it was. I think he might have called knock on.
Still a tough position here for Tweed to get out from, right in the corner.
So this will be now taken out 10 metres out. Last time these two teams did play in round 7 of action, Ballina won 38 points to 6. Since 2017, 3 times have been decided on 3 occasions. 2 of those were last year, by the way, and one of them was in the finals. 3 times since 2017, 3 games were decided by 2 points, all in Ballina's favour. Ballina have won 5 out of the last 6 against the Tweed Coast. Their sole loss, you guessed it, last year's grand final. And so here's just to put a comparison on things, Shorey. Ballina have only used 24 players this year compared to the Tweed Coast Raiders of 34. Ballina have 9 players who have scored 5 or more tries this year, 4 of which have scored 10 or more. Tweed have only had 3 who have scored 5 or more.
Well, so now that we know the Ballina are going to take away the minor premiership, they're going to they are definitely a team to beat. Have they been beaten, this season? No.
They've lost to Coogin and Moolumbar, so that's their 2 losses. And I mentioned earlier, they have a bit of a funny thing with Tweed Shire teams. So if Coogin and both Tweed Moolumbar will be there. If Tweed Coast do make it with Coogin, and they're going to potentially play 3 out of those 5, it might not be as cliche saying for Ballina as it could be.
So who do you see in the grand final?
Oh, big hard hits. Big hits, and it's going to be deemed legal to the disapproval of the fans here behind us. So this is Jamie Lyon. I'll get back to that in a sec there, Shorey. So Lyon. This is going to be played from dummy half by Michael Dwayne. And he goes he offloads it into the hands of Ray Buchanan. And he's just going to be held off the mark. Well defended there by the Tweed Coast Raiders. And they'll have a set of 6 coming. So who I think will be in the grand final. So you think Ballina, the way they're playing, they're going to make a very good case to be not just there, but potentially hosting it once again. I'm going to put a smoky on who is going to be on the other side of the field. I reckon it's going to be a smoky, whoever, somewhere in the 4th or 5th position. Not going to say, can't say who, because we don't know who's going to be 4th and 5th yet, but I think the way Casino's playing, they're getting a job done, but if we made mention that last week's game when we covered Morris Brothers Casino, they're winning, but they've got by far the easier road to get in the finals. And they only just beat Evans Head yesterday, who hadn't won all year. All due respect to them. They won by 4 points. And they just didn't quite, they only just got off the mark against Morris Brothers in the last 20 minutes. And just is what it is. Big hit there by Ray Buchanan. They're going to face much tougher opposition in the finals. And if they're not, they're going to have to come in with a bye as well. So Casino, whilst they could even finish higher second, like if results do go their way.
Do you like Moolumbar?
Moolumbar, Moolumbar could find themselves there. It's now 26 all between the 2 teams. Just got another message from our source. folks, we want to make mention though, we've got a good, our source is reliable, but don't take it as gospel. Those are unconfirmed sources, so we're just doing our best to guide you on actually what's happening. So, so it's 26 all from at Red Devil Park. So yeah, Moolumbar I'd put in there, but as I said, I really think whoever can get into 4th or 5th the way those teams are playing, like Coogin have beaten Ballina this year as well. Tweed Coast, if they can get there and they can get some pep in the finals, and Byron, but with that, where they go undone is they're not having. I think they've beaten Ballina once in like 11 games.
At least they could try and get there.
Yeah, well, it's all panning out very interesting in the last 20 minutes. It's
just from the football I've watched, Ballina look unbeatable.
Well, yeah, but with that,
I haven't watched them be beat yet. I'd like to watch that.
With that being said, it just takes one game to slip off the mark. So, not get too ahead of ourselves here, but they're looking very well. They're basically now got the minor premiership well and truly sewn up now. So they'll get it through in as many hands as possible. Oliver Regan, there's a big gap on the left side for Regan. He's just having too many change of foot there, Ollie Regan, and he's going to be held just inside 10. This will be Jess Perry now to play it from dummy half. Slow play of the ball here by the Seagulls. This is Hayden Hansen. Hansen into the, I think that's the sunlight just caught off the number there, Shorey. So this will be now Michael Dwayne. Lyon kicks across the carpet. Ooh. And just going to be batted out there by the Tweed Coast Raiders. So this will be a line dropout now for the Raiders. Yeah,
good smart play there, getting rid of the ball out in the dead ball area. Puts pressure on now with it. They want to try to get a good kick here, a deep kick. There is a slight breeze, so it'll be kicking into the breeze here, but slight it is.
So Ballina, the next thing they need to do, they'll have Byron Bay away next week, and then we'll have the week off, which comes with finishing as minor premiers. So this is going to be taken up here by Jack Durheim. This will be lined now to play it from dummy half. Gets it in their hands. That's taken up here by Nicholas Ritter. Getting more involved now, Nicholas Ritter. So Shorey, although the fact that the Ballina Seagulls, they have dropped 2 games this year, the closest they have to come to losing outside of that when they haven't won is 8 points. So again, that was early in the piece against Casino in round 2. Michael Dwayne into the hands of Jess Perry, into the hand. That's Anthony Coleman. He's liking the call. Anthony Coleman, he's just going to be held off. And so this will be now should be tackle 4 coming now. This will be now I think this is Liam Anderson now to play from dummy half. Gets in the hands. I think that's Perry. Hayden Hansen goes for a gallop. He's held off the mark there by Luke Toon. 5th and last now coming. Tweed just slowing down Ballina's play of the ball. Cannot ill afford, and that's going to be the next best result now for the Tweed Coast.
They just fumbled that ball in the play of the ball.
Ballina Seagulls failing to get their kick, so scrum feed coming now for the Tweed Coast Raiders 10 metres out. And Byron Bay have now actually hit the front against Moolumbar 32-26 at Red Devil Park. High scoring affair there, and it's 18-4 here with about 15 minutes and change. And the Tweed Coast Raiders are, if they're hearing that score in Byron Bay, they're probably feeling a little bit nervous now, sitting stranded on 20 points. That definitely has to be must win now against Coogin. So if Coogin are on 21 and they win their game, so that makes them on 23. So that's 24. Oh, jeez. I'm thinking there. So Byron are on 21, Coogin on 21, Tweed are on 20. If Coogin win, they're on 23, Byron on 23. Does that mean Tweed Coast are out? They can't get to 20. Heisel gets 22. That means that's the finals.
You're the mathematician, Dwayne.
Well, we'll just confirm that. I mean, there's more scenarios than we can poke a stick out of. Hopefully we try and make it as basic as we can. So kick goes up. That's going up. Shorey, I was saying to some of the pundits like today during the week leading in this one, there's going to be more stats and numbers than an election night. Big hits!
A bit high though, I reckon.
And I think that's Oliver. Sorry, who is that? Is that Harley Peachy clutching at his ribs there, Shorey?
Yeah. clutching at his ribs, but he's lucky not to cop a couple from the Ballina forward pack for that. You know, it's a pretty blatant high hit from where I'm standing. But he seems to have hurt himself somehow, but he might just,
his ribs
may just be escaping the throngs of the Ballina front rowers.
Okay, I must apologise. Coogin would actually go to 21 points. They were started the weekend at 9. I thought for they was on 21. So, so breathe easy, Tweed Coast fans. So basically, it just comes down to those two for the 5th spot if it remains as it does now.
Not sure if this is going to be placed on report or not. The referee's going to check out the injured player, but Jamie Lyons having a bit of a word to the referee. He's really done himself a Barney there.
So that's Dom Murray there, Shorey. Now this is his first game back since the end of June, and so if they somehow get to finals, they need him out there. No two ways about it. He's had 9 tries responsible on his score tally this year, and he's probably been their best attacking player just throughout.
Is he returning from an injury?
Well, I dare say. Well, I don't know what the injury was. As I said, I was just looking. The last time he was active was June 30 into this round. So obviously he didn't feature against the game against last week.
He's copying here from the Ballina fans. He looks in all sorts of pain, but they're not bringing him off.
So Jamie Lyons sends that one. So they're 35 metres out. Or sorry, 45 metres out now. This is now going to be played by Buchanan. Taken up here by Andrew Brasek. That's going to be to Michael Dwayne. This is Nicholas Ritter. He's going to be brought down there by Dan Willoughby. One more now, and you'd think that would be thank you, good night for the Tweed Coast Raiders.
So just an interchange, Andrew Brasek coming off and Phil Crosby going on for Ballina.
So this is Anthony Coleman, and he's going to be brought down there. So it's 35 metres out now for Ballina. Tweed have just done really well, though. The whole Ballina scoreless in the first half in about 27 minutes of the second half of football. Jamie Lyon is just going for himself. And I managed to offload it off to Ray Buchanan. He finds about another 15, 20 on the fly. So this will be our 4th tackle. This is now going to be Michael Dwayne into the hands of, that's Crosby, that's Ritter into Perry, and just throws it to no one, but well collected there. But I think that's Zach Beecher to bring it inside field. And he's going to potentially set up a right side play on the 4th phase unless he goes himself. And this is 5th and last. This is Michael Dwayne. They do go that right side. This is Lyon. Cut out pass into the hands. And Reece Richards only had the corner to himself, but beat himself up and thrown that in. This will be a scrum feed coming now for the Tweed Coast Raiders.
Slick looking play, ominous sign for the Tweed Coast Raiders to try to defend against that play the ball. And still a lot of speed at this time of the game for the Ballina players. You just had to catch out and land, and he would have got the try.
Sure, since round 3, all the losses that have come for Tweed Coast Raiders are when they've scored 30 points, some or more. But holding Ballina to 18 at this point of the season, it's a small victory if nothing else. But and in 9 of their games have been. So this is the other thing too. That was the one technical loss that they did have. Out of the 9 games that they played this year, they were in the game those 9 games. They won 6 of them, and effectively only really lost 2 of them because the one that they did win, they handed 2 points to Mullen for though. So by 11 points or less. So 2 tries. If they fix a couple of those up, we might be talking a different story as far as finals is concerned, Shorey.
Certainly could be, but unfortunately, when the competition's this close. You know, that's a really, like you said, really costly error earlier on in the season, having that technical loss with an unregistered player. But they're in good position here now.
So nice splitting run there by Harley Peach. He does well to get 20 metres out. He's just going to be held there.
He's lost the ball.
And he's lost that. So that play really needed to be better for Tweed Coast to just keep themselves in this game. Shorey, only twice this year have Tweed Coast Raiders been held to single digits all year. And today, one of those teams, they're actually the 2 top teams that they've got held to, Ballina and Wollongbar. So this is going out. So Ballina just looking for that one try, not only just to put this to bed, to put the minor premiership out of discussion as well. It pretty much all intents and purposes is, but just to really just make it absolutely impossible if it already isn't. So this is Michael Dwayne now. This is now 45 metres away from their end line. This is Ritter into the hands of Perry. Perry into the hands of Coleman. Coleman in. That's Zach Beecher going for a gallop. He's got only one to beat on the left side. He's got numbers on the right. Goes himself, Zach Beecher. And to the jubilation of the fans in the clubhouse. And there's a little bit of after to go it. That should now be the minor premiership well and truly done. Ballina have got this now at 22-4. Kick to come.
There's a Tweed Coast player down in the background on the 30-metre line. The trainers were calling for time off, but unfortunately they couldn't get time off in time to save that try from the Ballina squad against them.
So Zach Beecher, he did have Liam Anderson on his right side, but wasn't required. And that's his 5th try for the campaign, scoring twice against Casino, scoring in games against Kyle and Wollumbar. And he's only just come back into as far as Northern Rivers football's concerned, made his comeback for the Northern Rivers Titans this year, scoring 2 against the Greater Northern Tigers in the rep season after season, playing a bit of footy down in Newcastle there, sorry.
Yeah, it's a bit of good sportsmanship seen as Phil Crosby goes and just checks on the welfare of his opponent there. I think also his fellow number 8, Colin Hickey, who was down in back play, but he's back and running towards the huddle again.
And this is potentially looking bizarro. Well, like I think it was a 24-4 scoreline the other way in the grand final, so we're seeing a bit of bizarro world. Won't give them the 2018 major premiership, but it will more than sew up the minor premiership for 2019 and put them in pole position and first crack at potentially hosting another grand final, Shuri.
That's a pretty amazing stat that this is the same scoreline of the last year's premiership flipped on its head.
And it just hit the post. So I don't think that's going to happen. So 22-4. Ballina Seagulls over the Tweed Coast Raiders. An update at Red Devil Park, 32-30. Byron still in front. I think there might be a kick to come. So that one has gone down to the wire, and it wouldn't be the last couple of rounds of the finals if it wasn't. So we're about 7 minutes and change left here at Kingford Smith Park in Ballina. This one is looking pretty much in the books here for the Ballina Seagulls, and they'll be the undisputed minor premiers for 2019, well and truly officially after this. So, but the Raiders are going out with a bit of fight.
that was a big tackle by Tweed Coast after the kickoff, picking him up, driving him back a couple of yards. Big strong hits here. They're still in it. They're fighting for pride.
So this is now going to be played out here by, that's Hayden Hansen. He was one of the pickups here for the Ballina Seagulls. He was on Burleigh Bears books at the start. Try to get that in one. Burleigh Bears books at the start of this year. So, and he's been a valuable pickup at that for the Ballina Seagulls. So this is the man himself, Hayden Hansen, into the hands of Philip Crosby. And he's held off the mark there. I think that's Dan Willoughby getting involved in the tackle there. And they do well to just hold Ballina inside 40. Kick's got some length to it. So this is going to be, I think this... Oh, he's just held off there. Nice bang, hard barraging run there by Reese Riches. And
there's a good take there from Darryl Brooks. He didn't even have to move his feet. The ball just came straight to him.
So this is Guy Lanson. He's held off there by Nicholas Ritter, just inside 40. Playing on the short side. This is nicely taken up there, but that's Dan Ross. And so they're playing on the short side here. They want to get something to take home with the Tweed Coast Raiders. And I think he might have just held that one back, and Josh Gollins called something back about another 10 metres the other way. And so what's come out of all this, story? And just an update at Red Devil Park. Wollumbar now hit the front 42-36. So that's going to make next week even more interesting. So that basically means if Wollumbar can do a job on Mullumbimby, Casino I think are going to play Mullumbimby midweek as a catch-up game. So that's going to tell a tale if Wollumbar have got to finish, to beat Mullum to hold on to second. So should be Wollumbar Casino in second versus third. Just a matter of who owns the hosting rights. So this is going to be taken up. I think that's Luke Campbell. Tweed are coming home with a strong sail in the last 4.5 minutes. This is going to be played here by Singh, and he's just knocked that on. Just got away with him. And this will be now scrum feed now for the Ballina Seagulls, 15 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, they look so good after a couple of big hit-ups from their front row and spreading it wide. They got a penalty for being offside and then trying to move it quickly through the hands out to the right-hand side, but it's just the ball just got behind him, as he said, and he didn't get a hold of it, and it's gone down. Bit of a shame. They want to finish strong here. Down by 18 points.
So this is now going to be Jess Perry. Sorry, that's Oliver Regan. Tweed Coast, they want to finish off with the last few minutes, at least not concede another try. They'll remain on 20 after today, and if what the topsy-turvy effort that's been happening at Red Devil Park, Byron will remain on 21. Coogin, we don't know the results there, but if Coogin win there, they'll be joining them on 21, and then it's all about for and against. So what Byron need to do, if they can't beat Moolumbar, they just not concede too much for and against. It would then mean Coogin would have to beat Tweed Coast by roughly, well, there has to be, I think there's a gap there of about somewhere in the high 20s, low 30s, Shorey. So, of course, considering if Coogin do win it, what the score is against Mullum. So, if anyone knows the score out of watching the other games, so they want to text it through to YouTube or Facebook, let us know and we'll announce it at full time. So this is now Tweed to play it 10 metres out. And so this could be the Tweed Coast Raiders' last roll of the dice. And so not a repeat of the tale, unfortunately for them, which won them that grand final just under a year ago. This will be Kalani Hensby to play it now in the hands of Willoughby playing short side. This is Guy Lancer playing across the wing, and he's brought down there by Liam Anderson. This will be now played by Willoughby, 40 metres out now from the Seagulls line. This is Dan Ross. He's going to be held off there. And, they do well just to get it on the 30. This will be now Willoughby to play it. A couple of minutes left to go here at Kingston Park in Ballina. 22 points to 4. Ballina, Seagulls looking home and hose here. This is Hansby. Going to be taken up there by, I think that's Lockie Dawson. And there you go. There's Daryl Brooks. Gets himself in the corner. Consolation try at that, but well scored in the corner there by Daryl Brooks. Now making the score 22-8 with a kick to follow.
That was a sensational try, and that's just what they haven't been able to do for a lot of the game, is complete those moves where they do spread out to the wing and just complete that set of 6. And when they've got some clever plays that they're working with, and just the final touches on them, getting your hands on the ball and putting it into the corner. Great try.
And Shorey, I just want to make mention, don't take these scores we've got here at Gospel, and for good reason. It's actually Moolumbar still in front. It's 36-32. So, and there's not long to go there too. So you think Moolumbar are going to hold on? Nevertheless, it's still going to be a win to Moolumbar.
Well, potentially. There's still a long way to go in that game, and
could be.
It's a high-scoring game.
Could be. And that one's going to be kicked there by Oliver Singh. And now adds the extras now. 22 points to 10. And there's probably about a minute or two left here. And that is all over 40-32. Moolumbar over Byron Bay. So Moolumbar will remain in second. And with Casino with the bye, they'll be tied at 26 points. And so Byron will remain on 21. Tweed Coast will remain on 20. And the key is what happened between Mullum and Coogin. So we're just...
The mighty Mullumbimby Giants might have got a underdog score like the Bulldogs getting up over... Who'd they get over? Rabbits?
They beat Penrith last night.
Oh, yeah. That's a good win.
So as the kick goes up here, this should be the last set of 6 for the game.
If anyone gets the Broncos Storm game, just tag Dwayne Neville in it.
Nah, mate, nah. That 24-hour period after the game is well and truly ceased, my friend. Is your body clock on another time zone or something?
It's definitely not Queensland time, Dwayne.
Yeah, well, it's not summer either, so it's the same time. Though you were doing the markets today in up that way, so I think the body clock might be on Queensland time.
It's good. I get to give Rib a lot of Broncos and Titans supporters when I'm up there when they're wearing all the gear.
Oh, jeez. So anyway, so this is going to be should be the last couple of sets there. Ballina not really putting any urgency into their tackles. And Darryl Brooks, I think that was his so that was his 5th try for the year. So he's going to also be imperative for any potential finals campaign if the Tweed Coast do get there. And that's going to be Jamie Lyon. So Ballina should have the last. This will definitely be their last roll of the dice, without a doubt.
It's impressive, Jamie Lyon. He's played the full 80 minutes. He's run a lot, made a lot of tackles. How old's Jamie Lyon now?
So if I'm 30, in my mid-30, I think he's got a few years on me, so I think 37, I think.
It's an impressive performance, but...
And that's it. Oliver Regan will have the last... Sorry, that is going to be Zach Beecher with the last rights. And there it is. Ballina Seagulls are now officially in the books as the 2019 Minor Premiers in the NRRRL. And whilst it was coming now for a few weeks, it's now well and truly official. Tweed Coast, they will now... Well, it's still going to be now must win now for them either way, but now with the result at Red Devil Park, that's going to ease things off a bit, knowing that Byron don't have a great record against the Ballina Seagulls, and so Byron will be sweating on that result, no doubt, at Coogin next week.
Impressive performance across the park by both teams. As we said, Ballina got a few opening scores, and then Tweed, held them off for a long time, put a couple of points on for themselves. Looked like they could maybe fight and come back in it, but just at the end of the day, Ballina proved too strong once again, and just shows to the crowd here why they are the minor premiers. They've been the pick of the teams all this comp, and this is why. And like, they don't have too many outstanding like people that stand up. The whole team performs really well. They link up really well. As you've said, 13 of these blokes have played all the games for them, so a really consistent side, and it shows out on the park.
And sure, out of all those players, who did you think were the pick of the players today?
Well, I was just trying to allude, I can't pick a player. I just think they're all great, all across the park. They stand up at different times during the match, but credit's got to go to Captain Coach Jamie Lyon. He maintains a cool, calm squad out there. Seems to direct the players really well all across the field.
So just to iterate, so Ballina Seagulls have now officially claimed the minor premiership. They all now move to 30 points. Mooloombah's win over today over Byron Bay will put them in second for they're officially at this time a second. Casino on 24, they'll have a bye though, so they'll go to 26, so they'll be on level pegging. They'll now both have to have games against Mullumbimby. I think Casino, the rumour has it they got to play midweek, so they'll have first run of it. Casino will have to have a win there to have a shot at second, and then if they can manage to do that, then it'll flip back over to Mooloombah to answer back to hold second. So that's going to decide who will host either of those two teams. So they'll play second and third by the most look of it. And we'll scroll down the ladder. So Byron now still remain on 21. Tweed are on 20. So it all depends on how Coogin did against Mullumbimby, which we don't have the info on. And so basically it's Tweed, well, let's put it this way, Tweed have to win. Now they have to win to get to 5th. So that will knock Coogin or Byron out depending on for and against. So it's all now between Byron and Coogin for that other spot, and it's going to come down to for and against.
So there's a lot of exciting rugby league coming to you in the NRRRL. So if you're watching this at home, share it with your mates, get online, go down, support your local clubs and enjoy the ride.
And that's all she wrote here at Kingford Park. Full-time score here on the Ladbrokes scoreboard. Head over to ladbrokes.com.au for all your betting information. Gamble responsibly. Ballina Seagulls taking victory and the minor premiership for the 2019 season of 22 over last year's premiers, the Tweed Coast Raiders 10. For the team of the NRRRL and Mark Goff Media, Michael Shaw, I'm Dwayne Neville. It's been an absolute pleasure for you as we get that little bit closer to the start of another potential exciting final series. We'll see you next week for the last round before finals. Have a good evening.